Hello, everybody, it's the Midlands Outdoors, back with exploring the Black Country on the River Stour walk, part 3, the Stour Valley, which now goes all the way from the corngreaves section where we finished off, all the way to the gun barrel, and then goes all the way through Halesowen to the source, St Kenelms. So we'll come out of the Black Country into St Kenelms, which is a beautiful area. Got a church up there, maybe if it is open we'll explore that on this video. But what a lovely place this is, the corngreaves, where you come up to the side where you got to Haydenhill Park. You've got the River Stour just down onto here. So if I just quickly journey down to show you the Stour, I'll just show you from this section. You can just see it's making all of its way down, way to Stambermill from where we come from, all the way down there. Lovely walk that was. I really enjoyed walking from Stambermill to get this far. So today I'm actually using the electric bike. I'm going to be walking some of it with it, and I'm going to be using this to come most of the way back because it is like a little bit of a journey today. You see we've got to now make our way down, so if we just walk down that way to the gun barrel, got some stuff to talk to you about. But you just imagine this place really does date old. There used to be a chapel over the back over to there. Throw a map on for you now so you can just see the chapel next to the gun barrel. I believe the chapel used to be where I'm viewing right now, just a bit further up onto the corner up to there. I haven't seen any old remains every time I've been up to there, but if anybody does remember going back years and years ago, all the old ones that I'm watching the channel, a chapel being there, drop it in the comments. I don't know when it was actually demolished, but it used to be up that way. Straight in front you've got the gun barrel where the River Stour goes under the road. So you can just see right now where the gun barrel is. You've got a road that goes over where the River Stour goes all the way underneath, then over to the next section. You can just see the gun barrel from that corner. It has got a date at the top onto the very corner. I know it says 1901 or 1801. I'm guessing it could be 1901 from this corner. I'll have a closer view of that in a minute. But you see a little bit of a better view of the Stour running under the road now. And then from this corner. What a beautiful sight that is, running all the way through the corngreaves. It's lovely with all the leaves and the trees at the moment, giving that nice cover and some nice photographs that can be taken from this angle. But I can just imagine the gun barrel really does date old. You can just see even on the side here, we've got some old stuff which is sort of onto the corner. Wow, I bet those are dating back. What are these for? Even onto that corner there is some stuff just sticking right the way out. It actually says up to that, it's very faded out. It says something 01, 18 or 19. Wow. Really old buildings these are. If anyone does know much information behind the gun barrel, then definitely feel free to talk about it in the comments. I'm interested. There's even more old buildings just over there. There's one with a date, and that one's faded out really bad, just onto that corner. So just a nice photograph on for you now. You can just see some sort of weir for the gun barrel work, just right on the corner, a weir going down. I know it was actually removed at a certain date, but that used to be somewhere just at the back over to here. So it was next to the gun barrel works. That was really interesting. Used to be collieries over here. There actually used to be Old Hung Colliery, which was over that way, just on the banks of the River Stour. You had New Hung Colliery, which was right away at the top, and that's actually dating old. The buildings are actually still there, parts of them. But it is nice to see very old industry that was once prosperous along the side of the Stour, and just a little bit further up. Put all the photos on for you now so you can just see most of the colliery workings up to here and what this area really did look like back in the past. It is amazing to see those old photos and when they're dated back. It would be cool to see those in the days. Imagine just viewing that right now. I mean, a lot has changed around it really has. Wow, I really do love this place. You can just hear all the sounds of wildlife. It is really beautiful this morning. Tons of it. And that's what I love about this walk. When you first start off, I usually walk this way to go all the way down to the corngreaves at the bottom. I do it at certain times of the year when I've got nothing to do, because it is really local to me. So I'll come down all the roads and come this way all the way to the bottom and back up the Starbridge Road. But wow, it's lovely with all the trees, with all the leaves, and some of the trees in bloom. Just over today you can see all the flowers coming on some of them. It does really bring much wildlife here when you've got loads of stuff overgrown, like your ferns or your plants, like you can see your bluebells coming right the way up all the grass. Provides a nice habitat for wildlife to move in. And this is one area where industry back in the days was thriving really well. Old Hun Colliery. I would love to see much old photos of that. I've only ever seen one online of that photo what I've just showed you. I'll re-put the photo back on for you now so you can just see the old Hun Colliery building. It's really fascinating to see that. I mean, I only knew there was a colliery up here until digging into more research on into that a few months back. Then realising, wow, the old maps really do tell you what was here many years ago, or the old Ordnance Survey maps. And I love viewing those going from time to time, because that's how I find much of my history and where things really was. But you can just see the gun barrel just from the back end of it here, going all the way along. Really old buildings. It's make me wonder if they are grade listed, because they've been there for such a long time. But that weir thing was quite cool. I don't know whether it was somewhere back over that way, but it would be amazing to know exactly where it was on the gun barrel. But you just hear the River Stour running all the way down there. I can't see it at the moment because it is really overgrown. You can just sort of see it from that angle there, just through the little bit of trees going all the way down. This is believed where Old Hun Colliery was actually situated. Some of it was stretching onto the backland here where there was a little bit of a factory. I think it's like an oil work thing today. Just at the back over to here, this is where it was. And then some of it was stretching over into the woodland over there. So it's make me wonder if there was any old like rail track for it, like a tram line. I do know one of the coal mines here, whether it was New Horn or Old Hun Colliery, had a tram line that went to Horn Basin. And it loaded all the coal from there to load onto boats many years ago. And that's actually where Horn Basin come about, due to the coal mine workings. Wow, you really smell some industrial stuff here. It's really tall up, that is. You've got the pipes leading from one end to the other. It is nice just to walk past industry. I really do love looking at factories and certain type of factories from the outside of them. Wow. You see, just journeying right back onto the road. Many people think that the Stour Valley walk actually ends down there, but it just carries on. It goes all the way to the source, St Kenelms. So I believe it will go all the way through Halesowen, then it will end back up to the top by Uffmore, and all the way up to St Kenelms that way. You just see, back on that footpath sign now, watch these all the way down. So if we just carry on down this road, the River Stour is actually right away at the back. So right, I believe the route goes this way, so it will come to the bottom by our place Chippy just in a little while. But you see it comes back into a nice little bit of a wooded area. We have still got the River Stour, which is right away down on the dip at the bottom. Just literally right away down there. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but if I zoom in, you can just sort of see the Stour through the tree lines just down the gap, flowing all the way around from where we come from. I think now the route the River Stour, what it will do is go past our place Chippy at the back, through a woodland which you can't walk by. It will come all the way from the back of Aldi. I don't know whether it goes through a tunnel to come out to the other side of the, where you got KFC, the opposite side over there. I will show you in a little while. You've got Rumbo Lane which goes all the way down. Somewhere there the River Stour bends round and comes back out on that corner. Let's go down there and show you that, because I'm going to find out where it comes in and out from there. I don't know whether it is a tunnel. We're going to have a quick look, but you can't get down to see it. But there is some very old stuff in Halesowen there. I know there's some old houses, what was there many years ago. Halesowen was quite cool back in those days. A lot of it has really changed. I will show you some photos when I get to Halesowen Park. And you had some public toilets which have been filled in on the wall. I'll show you that going down, because that's literally where I'm heading to. But where we've got to go now is go past our place Chippy, down the road where you got Coombs Wood on the side, all the way down by the college at the bottom, round the island, KFC then over, I think it is where we've got to go. So it isn't really a long journey, so I've only got to cycle down there. And you can pretty much see why I've come on bike, because it is a really big journey to cover, especially when filming as well. But I might actually walk this one of the days from Source to Stambermill when I've got time. I might actually do a full length video on it one more time within the future. I have spotted a kingfisher over here, believe it or not, and I know there's no fish within the stour. That's what made me wonder why there was actually a kingfisher here. But you can, if you are lucky, you may see one from time to time. I don't know if it comes from the Halesowen. Comes over there, but that's where I've actually seen it, just onto that corner. So here we go. You see there's houses on this corner, and it will come out to the bottom by our place, Chippy. But if I turn right just to show you where the River Stour goes in that corner, I'll quickly show you that before we head straight down towards Halesowen. You can just see, I don't know if the Stour is actually over the gap down here. So have a quick view down. Wow, that is so steep down, that is. What's beneath here? Can't really see. I think it tunnels underneath this little bit here. It's a shame I can't get down to view that. But it will snake all the way around, and if I go over the road it will end up here. So you can just see the River Stour at the moment. It comes out into like a massive pool right away at the bottom. If I just zoom in, it's like a massive pool right the way there, where it snakes all the way around and carries straight on. It's like really deep on that corner there, I can just see it. All the way from here you can see where it goes down onto a weir system, all the way under here. So you've got the Our Place Chippy right around the corner. When it goes over there, you've got the Loyal Lodge pub onto the corner there. And then crossing over the road, the Stour comes onto this section, goes a bit calm, very deep on that corner. You can see this is like an old brick thing on that corner there. So what was there something there many years ago on that corner? All the way down there they put barricades, so if it does flood it'll actually sort of prevent it a little bit, all the way down. And it goes past the Aldi at the back, so if I put a photo on for you now so you can actually see that, it goes at the back of Aldi. So I'll put that on for you now so you can see it. Where we're going is down the road at the back by Our Place Chippy, down there. Might film a little bit of it as we're going down, but that's actually where we're heading. So here we are, this is that road what I was on about. You've got some buildings at the back, you've got Coom's Wood on the left, some car place in the corner. But the River Stour actually flows right away down there on the back, going down the back that way. So where we're going to go is just keep going straight on. Very busy down here, and there's some sort of abandoned offices what was doing up, but they never got a chance to refurbish them. And you see where Coom's Wood comes onto the corner that way, zooming in. You see kids have got in there, smashed the windows right on top. I remember years and years ago when I was doing this up. It's been like that for a long time. You see where it's been boarded up onto the corner. There's Coom's Wood leading right away up. As you may know, I've covered the video before. You've got Orme Basin up there. You had Coom's Wood Colliery many years ago. Lots of industry up that way, Stewart's and Lloyd's. You've got Haywood Forge, that was there. You've still got Summers Forge onto the corner, which is still operating today. So as you can just see, I've tried to do my best because Aldi is literally right away at the back down to there. In the dip you can just see the River Stour still flowing all the way around. It's covered by wooded trees right away at the back. Silver trees right around the corner, but right the way down there. So does it actually go through a tunnel? I really can't see, but it's literally just onto that corner, not too far around that edge. So right, here we are, here's the public toilets. You just see like an archway. I've always wondered for years what these were. Many years ago these were toilets. I always thought there was some sort of tunnels going right around underneath. You see something very old sticking right away up there. That's old, that is, whatever that is at the top. You see you've got something there, Halesowen Rural District Council 1909. There's like all names on there which are really old, but that is quite cool to see that. Many people wonder what that is from the corner here where you go down this road here. That's actually a public toilet. But if we somehow journey on to the right, I'm going to sit down on a bench in a little while, have a little bit of a break. If I go and show you over that way, that's actually where the River Stour is. So here we are, this is where it comes from all the way at the back of the Aldi, then all the way down. I can't get a bit of a view because it is really badly overgrown. Somewhere there is a tunnel what goes under the ground. I believe the tunnel is right away down there, what I'm pointing to, where the water flows all the way down. goes all the way to the back. It's quite deep down that bit and then round, and we'll go somewhere at the back there, snake back round somewhere. Let's go and see where the evidence of that is down the bottom. Before we get there, let's go and sit on the benches and tell you about Halesowen. So yeah, what an interest to explore so far, to see how far the River Stour does come. So the River Stour, from where we're coming from, will go on that road down there, Rumbo Lane, all the way to the bottom, and up by the Benjamins and to the top up to that way. And I'll show you where else it goes down that way. But wow, imagine walking this. It was a bit of a journey for where I come from. But I've definitely got to do the full route. If you want me to do the full route, drop it in the comments. I will get to do that when I got time. But it will be a long, long walk. But you see, the River Stour backs off down that corner. It's really beautiful here. They've actually done like a bit of a garden there, planted all like plants. Like, it's nice just to come and sit down. But yeah, you can imagine Halesowen dates way back a bit. The church is where the history all dates back. Imagine how old that church goes. Some more photos on for you now of Halesowen, so you can see what it really did look like back in those days. All the old photographs up that way by the Benjamins. Absolutely cool. It's really changed a lot. And when I was young, I always remember Halesowen viewing much different. The bus station wasn't there, the cornbow was different. I always can picture it right the way now, how it really did look. And before, when I was around, Halesowen looked much more different back then. There was much more in the centre, and all that's just vanished and changed. Imagine Woolworths, I remember going in there, that disappeared. A lot of the old stuff has just gone. Halesowen is rapidly increasing to a different place. More housing estates, things are expanding over here than what it used to. It's a shame to see most of that old stuff has really gone. But it's still a lovely place, don't get me wrong. I really do love living in Halesowen. I've lived here for quite a long time. And having access to the back areas like the countryside, it is a real bonus. So basically a bit of information about Halesowen. So Halesowen is a market town in the Metropolitan Borough of Dudley, in the county of the West Midlands. So if we go down, historically an exclave of Shropshire, and from 1844 in Worcestershire. So Halesowen actually used to be part of Worcestershire. The town is around 7 miles 11 kilometres from Birmingham city centre and 6 miles 10 kilometres from Dudley town centre. The population of the town, as measured by the United Kingdom Census 2011, was 58,135. Halesowen is included in the Halesowen and Rowley Regis constituency, which is held by the Conservative James Morris. So Halesowen is recorded in the Doomsday book of 1086 as being larger than Birmingham. The manor and the town known as Hala, from the Anglo-Saxon word Hal, meaning nook or remote valley, until it was given by King Henry II and Welsh Prince David ab Owain, and became known as Halesowen. The parish of Halesowen, which incorporated other townships later become independent parishes, was an exclave of the county of Shropshire, but grew to become a town and was transferred to the jurisdiction of Worcestershire by the counties. It says there the Counties Detached Parts Act 1844, including the boundaries, was an ancient village of Brettle. In the 1220s, Halesowen had a market town and a fair, and by 1270 it had been granted the Charter of Liberties by its lord. So by 1300 it is estimated that the population was around 600. Wow, look how many people was back then. The court rolls for Halesowen survived from 1272 and showed that the majority of migrants to Halesowen in the 14th century were women at 75%. Little was done to remove them, and many went on to become small retailers in the area. There's lots of history. It does really date back a bit, and during the 18th century Halesowen developed rapidly as a result of the Industrial Revolution. The manufacture of nails was the staple trade in the town, and many mills were used for slitting iron and production. Coal had been mined in the area for at least the reign of Edward I, dating to 1893. Coombs Wood was the largest colliery in the town. At its peak, 1919, Halesowen had 130 working mines. Wow, that is really crazy. See, so there, dates really back a bit with the Industrial Revolution. Halesowen is really old in total. So right, we're cycling further on now, just come further down. We've got BB Price on the corner, got some other units down the back, got Benjamin's down there as well, just by the side. And you see the River Stour just journeys further down that way. So I think it will snake round and go all the way where I'm going to. We'll show you that in a little while. So if we keep journeying on, you've got Benjamin just right away in front. Picture on for you again now so you can actually see what that looked like back in the days. I did show you a photo earlier of that. You see zooming in. I'm guessing that Benjamin's building is so old. Must be. And I always remember this place, if I just zoom in, I always remember a taxi place being on the corner. And there actually used to be a snooker club, and I used to go there when I was young. When I was in Windsor High School, that's where I went. We used to go over in our PE sessions to go and play snooker there, and it's actually been demolished. You see quite a lot has really changed. I remember all of these buildings actually being here just by the side of Benjamin's onto the corner. If you do remember that, also drop that in the comments. It was really cool to know if you've ever been in there. But I used to go and play snooker in there many years ago. So here we are, this is where the River Stour actually journeys all the way down from where we come from, down by the Benjamins. It will actually go through a tunnel under the road now and carry straight on, just zooming right away in. Once more, it is pretty much overgrown, but if I get to the other side I will show you that, because we've got to go through that little alleyway just onto the corner. And then you've got now the derelict fountain house. I always remember that day you had the gambling offices right away at the top. I know one of my brother's mates who used to work there used to tell me about that place. And you had some other things, it was gyms in there, but the whole lot of that now I believe is abandoned. It's all disused. You see it's all been boarded up onto the corners and metal, got all load of metal onto the corners there. It's mad to think no one's ever broke into these yet. When you get quite a lot of derelict places, kids always break the way in, graffiti it and trash it. But it is proper tightly secure, that place is. But I always remember the AA headquarters further right at the back where I've been going. I will tell you where that is, and I might actually put some photos if I can find it. But the AA headquarters, when that became derelict, it was actually the size of it. So I don't know if it was bigger, got trashed and vandalised the second it became abandoned, and it got knocked down. So I'll go and show you where those headquarters actually was, which is quite interesting. So if we just journey all the way around, you can just see there, it's all been metal sheeted right away to the corner, onto there, and then there onto that corner there. So here we are through that alleyway. Going right away to the bottom. You might be able to see the other side of the River Stour now better on this corner. Yeah, we can, there we go. That's actually where the River Stour comes all the way out from the bottom there. So you see they've actually built a tunnel to go under the road to lead to another section right away at the back by the fountain house. But it flows all the way this way and it goes all the way to the bottom by the Summers Park, Seth Summers Park I think it's called, right away at the bottom. And the AA headquarters was actually down here on the right. So there we go, through the gap of the trees you can actually just see new houses that have been developed. All there, exactly where I'm pointing, that was the AA headquarters right away there. It's crazy to think that was there and it's now all new houses what have been developed. But if we just carry on, the River Stour actually goes all the way through Seth Summers Park. The River Stour goes a bit more thinner onto the corner here, so if I just go over this bridge to show you, if I quickly go here, you can actually just see down there is actually that, the River Stour, which is really thin and narrow, going all the way through a little tunnel arch down there, then all the way through to Seth Summers Park. But what is really cool, if I just push a bit forward, you've got the old private property, no trespassing signs, from when the AA headquarters was actually there, so you can just see all the old fencing line. And then there, where you've actually got all the new houses just onto the corner there. So there's actually the last thing what's remaining, an old private property, no trespassing sign. So here we are, we're onto that busy road now, going all the way down. We've got the Grange on the left. That all used to be at one part, all the land by Seth Summers. Actually used to be an old grade listed ice house that's into the park, and that actually used to be all one part of that estate over to there. So you can just see quite a lot of history over this way. So all that ground there would have been massive many years ago. Well, coming all the way down you can just see it is a really big road, this one is, it's huge. So we've got a bit of a journey to get now to the Offmore section, and I think the River Stour will rejoin somewhere there. Well, I can actually show it you. So not too long to go, so enjoy the rest of the cinematics and we'll catch up with you when we get to that section. Then we've got more to show you. So right, here we are. We've got the turning which goes all the way down to Uffmore, and the River Stour will bend round from a corner, then go straight under the road and over to the other side. Let's go down there and show you, because this is actually the route we've got to take. And then further up at the top is the source of the River Stour, St Kenelms, which is a really interesting place. You've got the church which holds much history, and then you've got the source which also has some history with that one as well. So if we go up there we can actually show you that. Getting the church is going to be a real absolute bonus. Wow. So here we are, this is the River Stour down on that lane. As you can just see, it flowed all the way from where we come from. A bit of a journey to come all the way down to here, but what's surprising with these spots in the countryside, you can just see bin bags, all sorts being thrown there. A lot of pollution's been added into the Stour itself, close to where the source. You imagine if there's any pollution from that, will flow all the way down towards Halesowen, then down from where we come from towards the corngreaves. It's a shame to see a lot of things do get put into environments like this, because it is an easy access for them to pull up and throw into things like that. It's a real shame. I really do hate to see things like that. I mean, a lot of our countryside today is being taken back by fly tipping and things like this, which is destroying the environment. It's not very great to see things like that, but there you go. That's actually where the River Stour comes from, and where it actually goes now is it crosses over there. There is a public footpath which you can walk, goes across there, it will carry straight over. Then somewhere down there is the source which comes down. I think there's two sections what link into the Stour to create this. So you imagine with rivers you had tributaries which run into it, and the source is actually the main one right at the top, St Kenelms. When I looked at Google Maps, it says the River Stour bends round that way, not close to the source. I don't know where about it does run from there, but all I do know, there is another little stream which comes all the way down. If we get down now, I'll actually show you all this. You can just see there's a footpath sign there, public footpath, and this is actually where the Stour walk actually continues. If I just go down, you see Spring Farm just right on the corner. There's actually another part to the Stour here. Right the way there is a lot of water running all the way down. This is actually what I was on about, all here. So is this what runs from the St Kenelms and goes all the way down to meet into what was right behind me, just down to there? You see it's all flowing all the way down. Amazing to see that. It runs all the way for the woods there, so if you do walk that way, it's a nice little bit of an area to go down. But we've got to go now up that busy road, just up to there. It's really steep to cycle up, so when I get to the top of it, it gets to St Kenelms, so we can get down and then show you the source from that corner. But there's the spring. Absolutely cool. Whew. We've made it. What a steep hill that was. Completely out of breath. I've had to literally push myself as hard as I could. Got up there without the electric on. You see, absolutely beautiful architecture, this church. It really does date back. It is a really old church, this one is. Pan around to show you. It's just amazing to see the architecture of the front panels right at the front where the porch is. Beautiful wooden architecture, and even the patterns what have been carved out right away there. But what amazes me with this church is all the patterns all the way at the top, which is up to there. You see all those, and up to there. But you can just see the bell tower right away at the top. Awesome to see this church, St Kenelms, and it's always open in the week, so if you've never been here, definitely get yourself up here. It is a cool church. I've got to go back in one more time to show you. Let's go and see what's inside and go and enter St Kenelms Church. But that there, the architecture is wow. So here we are, this is St Kenelms Church. Wow. Those beams right at the top are so old. Imagine when all these were constructed, it's been painted over to maintain. Absolutely stunning stained glass windows right away in front. Beautiful. I really do love something about churches, whether it's down to its architecture, to all the stained glass windows which lie all the way inside. So imagine how far those do date back and to how they were even carved out. The scale of some of these churches are really cool. It's nice just to see them. This is actually one of my favourite ones up into Romsley. You check out the door when you walk through the front porch. I mean how old and massive this door really is. Just imagine how many people actually opened this door in its lifetime, and it's really crazy to think about it. So here we are, this is basically the end of the walk now. This is the source of the River Stour, just right away down into the dip where we're going to be heading to show you. It's amazing just to see this and the church here, all history that remains of a very old place. You can just see as you're entering the land, you've got sculptures that have been carved out right the way there. You can actually sort of see that it's damp. You see all the moisture coming all out the ground and all right the way there. This is actually where all the water comes from, as you see, it's coming out the ground there from the spring. Wow, all here. Journeying further down. It is beautiful with this willow tree that's coming down, beautiful. And this is the spot. There's a lot of history because it says here, near this spot rises the spring, said to mark the spot where Kenelm, Prince of Mercia, was murdered and buried circa 820 AD. The surrounding land was donated to St Kenelms Church by the Viscount Cobham in June 1985. But you just imagine how far 820 AD really does date back, and how far the church really does date back one more time. All this land, there's a lot of history sitting here. It's amazing just to see it, but the source is so cool just to see where it even comes from, trickling all the way down. You can just see how damp it is leading to the bottom where it's all flowing from where we are. Tell you what, it's absolutely cool to see the source of the River Stour right the way there. And that's basically the video. I wanted to show you that part 3, coming all the way to St Kenelms. Imagine walking it, I'd have been absolutely shattered by now. I'd probably still been walking here, but it's quicker to come and bike because I've got other stuff to do today. I just really wanted to show you this part 3, which people requested. But one more view of St Kenelms Church if you head right away back up. Right, it's so steep up here. But you just see the church, absolutely beautiful architecture, all sandstone carved things into there. I mean, old doorways just around the corner, what went in many years ago, all onto the corners here. Some of them have been blocked up. You see, it is a massive scale St Kenelms Church, right away to the top. But yeah, that's it for this one. Hope you've really enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you can, I really do appreciate it. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button, I appreciate that one more time. But yeah, from me here in St Kenelms, where it comes to an end, see you soon. The Midlands Outdoors out.